Okay. What's up? Can you hear me? Oh, good. Okay, the blue snowball microphone's working good then. That's awesome. Out in the backyard today. Spring is in the air. Okay, well, it's 11:02. I'm gonna start smoking my cigars here today. So I had a guy send me a comment, and it's actually a pretty interesting comment. Hey, how's it going, Michael? It's a Porla Renaga day. Monte Carlo and Petite Corona. It's a little... That should smoke. Okay, so let me see here. Let's see if I can... what do I want to do? I think I want to go into here, here. And add a comment. Yeah, there we go. I think maybe I can do this. And then see how everything, whoops. Let me see here. Go into here. And there we go. Okay, and then we're gonna hit OK. All right, let's just transition. Sorry about that. Okay, I gotta add the microphone in there. I'm sorry, I'm audio input capture. Add existing. There we go. Okay, you should be hearing me now, and you should be hearing me now on this here too, right? Okay, so back to this relative humidity thing here too. So, he's saying that a lower relative humidity for his cigars gives him a better flavor. Now, for like a younger cigar like this, I'm in agreement with this, because if you do, but he's saying it because there's less flavor. Me personally, I'm thinking that it's because, well, it kind of adds to the flavor. Let me see here. Let me go in here. Let me go in here. No. 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 All right, I'm just going to go back to that. So when Min Rodney first started sending me cigars, he actually sent me some cigars that were really young and humidified at 70% humidity. And the flavor of the cigar was really kind of off-putting. It was very strong, very pungent, and it was not that good of an experience for a cigar. And it was a younger cigar. But older vintage cigars, when smoking them, I have found, and this is just according to him and other people that he has, you know, kind of done this experiment with, along with myself. When you're smoking a vintage cigar, you want to humidify it to 70% humidity for about a month and then smoke it. And the flavor on the cigar in a vintage cigar, like a 20-plus-year-old cigar, tends to be really good. And it's not off-putting at all, and so on and so forth. And I just think that's just because of the fact that with a younger cigar, you have more of the tannins in there, you have more of the oils that in there, and more of that stuff that would be off-putting when it burns. And when you have more moisture in there, it creates, I think, a little bit more smoke. And so when you're doing it at higher relative humidity for a younger cigar, you're going to get a lot of those really bad notes in the cigar. And so, but it's interesting because what I put on the screen, because he's got the complete opposite. And so that's why I was throwing that question out there. I'm just gonna put it up here if anybody hasn't read it yet. And so it was a video that I did a while ago. I can't remember what it was from, but let me see here. I can add. Where is it? There we go. There. Okay. I think that it's kind of better to have my face in there, I think, as opposed to just the whatever. So that's one of the questions I want to ask you guys out there today. Have you guys tried anything like this? Or like when you smoke a cigar, do you even think about that? Or you know, you keep your cigars at what type of humidity and so on and so forth? Just kind of curious out there. Okay, what's the related question, Chris? Shoot. Okay. Think about humidity a good deal, and I'll tell you why, all right? Okay, have the experience and have read others having it too. Oh, okay. They smoke beautifully after arriving in the mail, and then you throw them in your humidor, and they start getting plugged up. Something like that. The flavor. Okay, so you're on that. You're in his camp of stuff and so on and so forth with the flavor disappearing, with that. Okay. Oh no, actually you're not. Yeah, you are, because humidity goes up. Yeah, yeah, humidity goes up, the flavor goes away. Which to me, it's kind of the opposite. I mean, the more the off-putting stuff goes in there, especially with a younger cigar. So it's kind of interesting that you're talking about that, and that's why I wanted to post this question out there too. So just to see what people had to say about it, and so on and so forth. So Michael, so with you doing the one side and then the other side, so it looks like you're also going for lower humidity as well at 62 when you dry box at 62 RH, and then your burn and construction issues are pretty much non-existent on there. Yeah. Yeah, because I think that people have a tendency to over-humidify stuff, and that's where you kind of get into trouble with things when you start to over-humidify. And the thing is, too, is that it's not super exact, because when you do the salt thing for your hygrometer, you have to let it sit in there for a considerable period of time before it can get an accurate read on that relative humidity, because of the fact the plastic bag will clamp down on the parts that are getting the humidity in there to take the reading, and so on and so forth. And so you know, and then if you have a huge humidor, a big one, then you're really going to have issues, because if you're going in there and out of there all the time, you know, getting cigars or whatnot, and so on and so forth, it's going to throw the humidity off. So your hygrometer might say one thing, but it actually might be another, and you could be over humidifying your humidor in doing that. Yeah. Okay. Good. I thought this one was not going to smoke that well, because it's I can feel it's a bit, this one's a bit moist. It's a little bit more moist than I want it to be, and I thought I was going to have some issues with it, but it seems to be smoking okay. So that's a good thing. But I think I'm going to start doing, I'm going to do what this guy said about the RH, and I'm going to do some experiments on that. Yeah, I've found that to be the truth. I mean, I've smoked a cigar out of a box, and you smoke one, and then it's like, what the, and they look different too. Like, you can have it where it looks insanely different, you know. And I know with the Cuban stuff, and I'm sure this is with the non-Cuban stuff, that, you know, they roll everything up, and then they have someone that's sorting it by color, right? So you want, I know in the Cuban environment they do this. I'm not sure about the non-Cuban environment, but they have somebody sorting by color. So you could have like 10 different rollers. So say if it's like this, a cabinet of 50, you can have like 10 different rollers giving you 5 cigars that are all going to go in there. And yeah, you're going to have the tobacco that they give all of the rollers for the day to roll all this stuff in there. But as far as consistency goes, you got 10 different pairs of hands that are making this cigar. So to me, yeah, it definitely would, it's definitely, there can be a difference in there. So I'm going to try doing that with a few things here moving forward. Might even try with non-Cubans and Cuban cigars both. Let's see here. Let's go to that. I like this one. Reminds me of the good old days when you could just go over to Hong Kong. So, yeah, anyway. Everybody have a good weekend? I do my fair share of cooking. If I lower the RH, the more oily the cigars get. That's an interesting thing to look at. So you're saying that with the loss of RH in there, the oils have a tendency to come out and kind of like leach out of the leaves and stuff like that. That's an interesting thing, interesting observation. Yeah, because I personally, like I always say in my videos, I don't care what a cigar looks like. I don't care anything really too much about a cigar as long as it smokes good, right? So I don't go into the minutia things, and that's why I ask questions about stuff. Minron has a tendency to go into some of the minutia things as well. And so, but me, for whatever, lack of culture or whatever, I just want it to smoke it. Okay, around 67. Yes, I've been doing my fair share of cooking lately. And so that's what I was doing this weekend, doing a bit of cooking up some stuff. Made quiche for the first time. All my cigars at 62, and I get more flavors from my Cubans at 62. Okay, so you're like in that camp with the one guy that I put up with the comment on there at 62. So I made quiche. I've been doing these bowls too, like in the pressure cooker. I'll take chicken and I'll rub it with a bunch of stuff in there, and then do tomatillo and onion, and then put the chicken on top of the tomatillo and onion, and do a pressure cook it. And if you do it for 60 minutes, it totally melts all the cartilage in the chicken. I'll do thighs. Then I'll take that and shred it up, and then been making some really nice bowls, chicken bowls out of it. So it's pretty healthy. So that's been pretty good. So, yeah. And then what else? Oh, instead of St. Patrick's Day, I did Irish chicken instead of corned beef and cabbage, which is pretty cool. I like that. It was pretty good. Yeah, they are. Most definitely. Jerk chicken, huh? Yeah, I'm not like okay, I know that people are like really into spice, like really heavy spicy, because jerk chicken can be a bit spicy, but my girlfriend can't eat anything spicy, and I'll do like a little bit of spice, but I know some of that jerk stuff can get super fuerte on the palate, right? So I kind of I don't do like heavy habanero or like, ghost pepper or anything like that. Like, I'll do some serranos and jalapenos in my stuff. Oh, really? Okay. Take the cayenne out and add cloves. All right. I'm going to do that because, that sounds good. Because I love clove in there. And I love the sweetness in there. So, yeah. Okay, good. All right, well, so I'm going to find some recipes for that, and I'm going to do that as well. Yeah, I just like experimenting with stuff all the time. It's like really good. How much clove would it be? Ground clove? You or do like a mortar and pestle and grind up the cloves in there, like about 2 or 3? Because I know clove can be really heavy in there. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I noticed, well, jalapeno is like, a lot of, yeah, okay, so like maybe a half a teaspoon of ground cloves. I have a mortar and pestle too, so I have whole cloves in there in my spice rack. So, okay, 1 teaspoon, gotcha. So I can do it either way. Either grind it in the mortar and pestle. I might have some ground cloves in there. I'm not sure. So, yeah, jalapeno and, you know, there's a lot of people out there now that probably just eat them like, I don't know, poppers. Well, jalapeno poppers, you know. So, yeah, my girlfriend cannot do any spice at all, hardly at all. So, like, I'll put like a little bit of spice in something, and she just like reacts like crazy. Just can't do it. So, I have to really keep the spice down on things. But I'm not like a super spice guy anyway, though. I mean, I do like, I'll do country French stuff and everything like that. Things with a lot of sauces and things. And, you know, a lot more along those lines and stuff. As opposed to like getting into the really heavy spicy stuff. Michael, it sounds like you do a bit of cooking yourself, man. Yeah, okay, so I've been watching I've watched cooking shows like all this time, and they talk about that tikka masala, which is a mixture, right? It's just like 4 or 5 different spices that are in herbs that are in the tikka masala, right? It's like kind of a mixture. Kind of like when they do a ponzu, right? Like a ponzu sauce is a mixture of soy sauce and some other things in there, but it's a ponzu sauce. Then there's a Chinese one too that they do a bunch of stuff in there. I've been experimenting with a little bit of Chinese food as well. A lot of sugar in some, well, like the Americanized stuff. I think there's a lot of sugar in the recipes. Did the lettuce wraps, the P.F. Chang's lettuce wraps. Satay, which that's Thai, right? Yeah, and I like, I mean, along with my cigars, I like a sweeter cigar. I like kind of sweeter foods, too. Like, I like the savory and everything like that. But I like to have a sweetness in my food as well. It's just, you know, it is what it is. Oh, I made bolognese sauce. So I put chicken livers in the bolognese, and nobody sells chicken livers anymore. Well, at least where I live, they don't have chicken livers. And that's like one of my key ingredients in bolognese, because I'll do lamb, veal and pork and chicken livers in the bolognese sauce, and no chicken livers. I guess I have to go to like a farm and get some of those. I just like eating chicken livers, period. Like, I mean, I know, but yeah, I like doing that. I gotta check that out. I didn't check that out. Okay. Yeah, and there's a bunch around here. Yeah, because you're out in, you're kind of out, where'd you say you were? Like Pasadena area, or sort of by the Pasadena area, out that way, like the 10, and so on and so forth, right, Michael? Encino. Oh, Encino? Oh, shit. I'm way on the other side of the hill. Wow, okay. Where Frank Zappa used to live. Right? He used to live there. He had some weird music, man. Oh, you're right there? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Fat Stogies is right there. And what's the one that used to be called, oh shit. EXO, and it's called something else now. Is that the one that, is that called Fat Stogies? I thought Fat Stogies was more toward Tarzana. No, Bad Ash. Bad Ash. Or something Ash. God, I'm going to have to pull up a map. Yeah, there's yeah, fat, yeah, that's okay. I get it. Yeah. Now the one I'm talking about, Whole Foods, Woodland Hills. Whatever, doesn't matter. Wow. Okay. So you're going in the office now. All right. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, if anybody needs insurance, Michael will be more than happy to provide it for you. So yeah, I've been running into some draw problems with the non-Cuban cigars. So what's been happening with me is the cigar will burn down about halfway, and then it'll get to the second half of the cigar, and then I'll be puffing on the cigar trying to get smoke out of it, and there's plenty of draw going through it, plenty of air coming through it, but no smoke. It's been the most bizarre thing. And then a lot of times too with these New World non-Cuban cigars, I mean, the burn just gets wonky on them. Like it's like the wrapper is like, I don't know what's up with the wrapper or whatever is causing this. That it'll start burning off, you know, and then you have to like light it up, touch it up, and correct it and everything like that. And these are non-Cuban cigars. These are not Cuban cigars. And I was smoking one the other day. It was a Guardian of the Farm. And it started tunneling. Like, I mean, it wasn't tunnel. It was almost like when they rolled it, something happened where it caused it went down maybe a vein or something like that inside there. I've been told that's usually what happens, is that there's like maybe a vein in a leaf or whatever it is, and it just like acts like a fuse. And that's what happened on the cigar. So I had to I cut it. I wish I had a picture of it. So I cut it off because it was just like, and then it started doing it again. I had cut it down again, so I lost like about a third of my cigar after doing that. And this is a non-Cuban cigar. I mean, you don't think of non-Cuban cigars having issues with stuff like that, but I've been running into issues with non-Cuban cigars because usually when you get a non-Cuban cigar, you smoke it and everything is good all the way through. But some of the ones that I've been smoking haven't been that good. And a lot of them are wrapper related too. Which, I mean, this thing's burning great. No problems. Not having to touch it up. Smoking good. Cuban cigar. So, who knows? Maybe it's starting to change. Maybe the non-Cuban makers are so busy making their cigars that their quality control is lessening. Who knows? So you make your own rubs and seasoning blends and stuff like that. Do you, you said you grill. Do you smoke stuff too, Michael? Like, do you have a smoker too? Do stuff like that? Or do you like maybe dip the wood chips and what do you do? Apple cider, an apple cider vinegar, soak your wood chips in there and then put them on the grill and then they start to smoke inside there. In a grill. I haven't tried that. I've watched some grill guy doing that. It kind of interested me. I mean, at least you get some smoke flavor in there. Okay. What's an offset stick burner? I don't know. I know what a Traeger is, but offset stick burner, I have no clue what that is. Is that something for your grill, the offset stick burner? I guess I could just look it up. Oh, okay, that was slang for traditional smoker. Got it. All right, I'm learning the lingo. I mean, I just used a Traeger for my first time when we went to Montecito on vacation a few weeks back, and I used a Traeger grill for the first time ever, and it was like awesome. So, I mean, for me, being someone that likes to kind of set it and forget it and do that kind of thing, for me, that Traeger just is good. I know that if the purists out there want to use a traditional smoker where you're kind of tending it and everything like that. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love Traeger, man. It's just so easy. I mean, you spend a fortune, I guess, on the pellets. I mean, the pellets are like the never-ending cost, but I mean, you're going to buy wood or whatever to smoke with, depending on what kind of wood you're going to get. And so, I don't know, 6 and 1/2 dozen the other, I guess. Well, it sounds to me like with your rubs and stuff, you like to use a little bit of heat, a little bit of spice. So you know, do like your cayenne pepper. I didn't even know they had jalapeno powder. That's kind of interesting. But you like to spice it up a bit. Put a little bit of heat in your food and everything like that. Okay. Really? I didn't know they had honey powder either. Holy shit. Wow. I'm learning all kinds of stuff from you today, Michael. That's awesome. That's really cool. Honey powder. Okay. Huh. Yeah, that would give it like kind of a really interesting flavor too with honey instead of sugar. Because yeah, I do like that Memphis dust, which has brown sugar and regular sugar in it, and along with all the other stuff in there. But honey powder, that'd be interesting. I gotta check that out. Yeah, because I'm thinking of doing like some cooking videos, some travel videos, doing more lifestyle stuff on here as opposed to just cigars, and kind of branch out a little bit and do other things. Because there's some stuff that I've done that I kind of want to post on there. Especially that pressure cooker thing is so easy, and it makes so many different things with the, you know, when you pressure cook that stuff, the meat, and then you shred it. You can make burritos, you can make tacos, you can make bowls. You know. Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, Corey. See, you've been posting in the Facebook group, which is awesome. Portland Renaga Day today. Got 2 of them. Yep. Yeah. And that's the thing too, it's like it's so fast, right? I mean, you can do something for 60 minutes and it's just going to be like insane. Or even like 20 minutes. These are pretty young. I think they're probably from 19, something like that. They're pretty young. Just young stuff smoking out in the backyard. Yeah. So that's what I've been thinking of doing is, doing some cooking videos and stuff like that, along with trying to figure out how to, because it's just me doing the videos and stuff like that, but where I travel to and things like that, and maybe like kind of do kind of a video vignette of like various places that I lay over at, maybe find some cigar lounges there, places to eat, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, it'd be nice to be able to be like Anthony Bourdain, but do cigars. That'd be kind of cool, right? Just go somewhere and smoke cigars with somebody and then eat a great meal and, all that kind of stuff. Show them the sights. Instead of say, it'd be many cigars required. It's something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird how this Marca doesn't get a lot of love in the catalog, in the sense of like, right, they've taken a lot of stuff out, and then there's pretty much what, the Monte Carlos and the and these I think, and so but there's a lot of regional releases that they're doing with them, and so on and so forth with that. So, but I mean, they had a pretty big portfolio, and this, I believe Por La Renaga is the first, maybe not the first in the sense, but they're the one remaining one that it's the oldest cigar manufacturer, right? From way back in the day. Oh, they started doing the picadors too. That's right. I forgot that. But they had a really huge portfolio back in the day, and they were like very popular. But now they're doing a lot of, they've done a lot of regional releases for Por La Renaga. So, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, they just, who knows, maybe, because every time I, smoking one or posting one or whatever it is, everybody's like, oh, that's a great cigar, and so on and so forth. And it's like, yeah, they're really good cigars. I really like them, but it's like they just have 3 Vitolas right now. They used to have a ton of them. Just, yeah, that honey sweetness in there is just, I love this, yeah. Anyway, but I like sweeter stuff, so it is what it is. Oh, why'd you pull those down? 2010? Those must have cost you a little bit of cash from 2010. Unless you have someone picking boxes for you over in Europe and then sending them out to you. Box of 10 or box of 25? And what are they? They 3s, 4s, 2s? Oh, okay. Open series. I always forget about them. The open. Yeah, that's a good size, right? That's kind of a Robusto, the Open Master. Yeah, they are. I think they, I mean, the blend's a bit different, right? I mean, it's not necessarily like the other, like the regular, what do you want to say, the numbered ones and so on and so forth, but they, yeah, I think they taste good aged. I mean, I think that they age pretty well. And it's a little bit different, but it's a good. They're good. I mean, that the blend, they even said that they created the blend differently. So for me, that, you know, I mean, when they first came out, they were like, everybody was hating on them a lot, but I think the older that those cigars get, the better they get. Well, Rafael Gonzalez in general, I mean, it's kind of a sweeter cigar as well. It's too, yeah. That's another one that doesn't get a lot of love. Rafael Gonzalez. Sancho Panza, that's one that just doesn't get a lot of love. I mean, with the regional releases, maybe that, you know, things moving forward with the regionals, and they might do something more with the oh, the RG. Okay. So they do they? Is it like in Germany, where if there's a box of cigars with the price on them, they can't raise the price even though that box is 4 years old in Sweden? Because in Germany, whatever the price is the price, and they can't raise the price. So if you can pick a box that's, you know, 20 years old and it's got the price on there, they can't raise the price on it. So I'm curious to see if Sweden's that way too. You need to ask your cigar purveyor there, Manuel. You need to ask him. Yeah. That's a box of 10. That's a box of 10, right? The Rafael Gonzalez? Yep, box of 10. Yeah, about $11 a stick. And that right here, I'm looking on the Cuban Cigar website, that's the last. So they haven't done a regional release for RG for 4 years now. They haven't done a regional release. No love. None whatsoever. Yeah. I used to love the Lonsdales, man. You can't wait. They've been discontinued for a while, and you just can't find any. Loved smoking the Lonsdales. Do you guys set your clocks forward yet? I think maybe in 2 weeks you guys set your clocks forward, or do you not in Sweden? Oh, really? Wow, next week, okay. That's going to be interesting. Let me see here. I just see oh, that was supposed to be released in 2018. The Double Robusto Regional, is that the one you're talking about? Because I just see Humidors Extra, which was supposed to be released in 18, and then the number 2, Jonas number 2, which that just came out. And then the Phoenicia, which is a Sublime. Oh, this Phoenicia? 40? Haven't seen that one. Haven't seen the Trinidad Humidor. Those old Trinidad Humidors are kind of cool with the little bit. They're like little houses and stuff like that. Those are really cool. The one I want is a Siglo 21. That's the one I want. That one. Minron Nico's at the coffin. Actually, the Hunters and Frankow one, the Ramonian Hunters and Frankow one, is that one was really nice. The 225th year Hunters and Frankow. That was they did that one really well. Trinidad, huh? Let's see here. See if it's on the old Cuban Cigar website. Oh, it's a travel humidor. There's 14 cigars in it. That one is the one you're talking about. That one's a duty free, so traveling around, I might be able to pick something like that up in duty free. I don't know how expensive that's going to be. So 140,000 cigars, released in early 2021. Not a lot of people traveling around in duty free at the moment, so it's probably still sitting there. Yeah, last few international trips I went, there was like nothing in duty free. I couldn't even shop in duty free in Singapore. They wouldn't let us shop anywhere in duty free in Singapore. Hong Kong duty free is it Hong Kong duty free? No, I was in Costa Rica and their duty free, and it was terrible. Like it was the worst duty free I'd ever seen. Hong Kong I didn't do duty free. I could have, maybe, I don't know, but usually it's a tight time frame. So 60,000. Yeah, it's not even up on the Cuban Cigar website yet for that one, the RA that you're talking about, Manuel. 60,000 cigars too. That's like the Trinidad's got 140,000 cigars. So I don't think they're do you carry any age stuff? Not usually, no. You're gonna get pretty much everything's gonna be. You run across some stuff every now and then, but I mean, as far as duty free goes, they're turning stuff over quite a bit, so it's not gonna be one of those things where you're picking it in some shop in the middle of wherever. That so duty free, you can find some stuff every now and then, but usually you're going to get a lot of the global brands is what you're going to get. You're going to get Monte Cristo, Romeo, Cohiba, Monte Cristo, Romeo, Cohiba, Partagas, and like H. Upman is what you're going to get. All the global brands in there. Yeah, I mean, these Cuban cigars are like baseball cards were back. Well, baseball, I mean, I guess a bunch of memorabilia stuff has like really been going through the roof, along with art, with this whole pandemic thing. Yeah, some guy just sold his digital portfolio, his digital art portfolio, for, I want to say 69 million or 6.9 million. I think it was 69 million. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm sure they're going to work something out, because if they're doing the plain packaging like they do down in Australia, what they do is they put a secondary band over the primary band, and it comes off really easily. So you'll see like I posted on Instagram because I had some Monty 2s from Australia with the secondary packaging on there, and the secondary band comes right off if the glue's not that good, and it just goes over the top of the primary band. So I'm sure that they could do a regional release. They just do the secondary packaging or secondary banding on there and release it, so you can open up the box, pull all that stuff off. Yeah. Well, with all the stickers and everything like that they're starting to do with everything. Yeah. You need to smoke that Maria Guerrero, man. Smoke it. That's a brand that they need to resurrect right there, like how they did with the La Excepcion. They did, the Italian regional releases for La Excepcion. They need to do that with Maria Guerrero. They need to do a Maria Guerrero. I think if they did a Maria Guerrero with the old band with the crown in there and everything like that, I think it's a crown in there, it would probably be a big seller, I think, if they did Maria Guerrero. Some regional release, like in Spain. A Spain regional Maria Guerrero would be... Well, you should, yeah. Don't forget to put it underwater for 5 seconds, too. That wrapper's going to be pretty fragile. Yeah, because those La Excepciones, they came out, those are going for big bucks now. I mean, they were pretty expensive coming out, but the La Excepciones, but it was a good blend too. I mean, it was really strong, and I smoked some of those, and I really enjoyed it. Like, they were pretty fresh, and I really enjoyed the La Excepcion. I wish I could get a couple boxes for a decent price, because I like the La Excepcion. I like them a lot better than the vintage La Excepcion, to be quite honest. Vintage La Excepcion, to me, it is what it is. But the new La Excepcion, god dang, that's a good cigar. Well, that's good, Corey. No other shop seems to have them. Lots of new releases coming out with little no press on them. Haven't heard about those. I think the last live stream, some people were talking about the new Florida Cano release. Elegatos. Yeah, I just looked it up. It's not there. It's interesting that they have them in stock. What about Habanos SA? They got anything listed on there for the Aligato? Yeah, there's something on Reddit where somebody was talking about they got a mail call for them on November of 2020. Yeah, I mean, the Cuban Cigar website, you know, he's got a lot to do. I mean, he's got a regular job and stuff, so him posting things, it's that's a labor of love for him. So, yeah, he's not always completely up to date on things. There's stuff that comes out that he doesn't have in there. But I would have thought Habanos SA would have mentioned something on that. And they didn't, huh? I mean, I can't see anything from Habanos SA. Friends of Habanos discusses it in February. Yeah. That's kind of an interesting one. I don't know. It's weird. But I just saw I pulled up some pictures on the Reddit site. The guy had a picture of them. You know, there's a box of them. 10 of them. Box of 10. It's got the double stamp. UMR November 20th. He doesn't show, I mean, he could barely see the tax stamp on there. So he doesn't show that. So he might have got them online and it got scratched out. So he didn't want to post it up there. But it's got all the new packaging with the 2 stamps on there with the factory and the date and so on and so forth with that. So they look real. There are 10 of them. It's weird that only one vendor would get those. And they're what is that going to be a regular release of the Florida Cano? Oh, okay. It's going to be a regular release. It's on the Cuban Cigar website. It's at the top. If you go to the top on La Flor de Cano, it's at the top. It's a new release. That's what it says here. I didn't even think to look there until now. Yeah, it's 50 by 5. It's a Robusto. Slide lid box of 10. So that's a regular issue. So that's going to be everywhere. Yeah, it's on the Cuban Cigar website. It's there. There's no picture of the cigar, but there's the text is in there that talks about it. Definitely would probably be long filler, not short filler. I mean, everything's handmade now, so I would imagine it'd be long filler, not short filler. But I don't know. Because everybody's buying cigars, Corey. They're still sitting in their houses. And then with the STEMI money coming out of the U.S., oh my God. Like, come on. People are like stocking up. Tell you, cigar people, cigar manufacturers, liquor manufacturers have made a killing during the pandemic, I think. Yeah, it is. That is a good price. Yeah, it's probably going to go down like it's going to go down. It's going to go down in history probably. Well, I mean, it's going to be a regular issue cigar. So the short Churchill, La Flor de Cano short Churchills, they made those for a while. So and that's like a unicorn cigar. The Vagueros are kind of around that price, I think, aren't they? I thought Vagueros were like about $4, $5, $6 a stick. Oh, yeah, you're right. Handmade using short filler tobacco. It says right here. Cuban Cigar website. So it's going to be short filler. So there you go. It is short filler. My bad. H. Upman Royal Robusto. That's a decent cigar. I don't mind it, but I mean, I'm not a big fan of H. Upmans, to be quite honest. Not a big fan of the flavor profile of the Upmans. I know I've smoked it, and it's not bringing back a lot of memories, so I'm not, but like I said, it's not in my wheelhouse. I'm usually with H. Upman because it's more like a kind of a clean tobacco taste in there. They require a bit of aging on there for them to get that kind of a smoky kind of a flavor to them and everything like that. So yeah, Upmans I'm not. I've done a few vintage Upmans on the channel. The Royal Robusto, I know I've done that as well. I've smoked that as well. That's an LCDH, I believe, right? The Royal Robusto. Nick, as far as Cohiba goes, I mean, Cohiba is kind of one of those cigars, you know, with everything that they do and so on and so forth with the Cohiba. That's going to be kind of tough to, like, get something other than a Cohiba. But El Rey del Mundo is a great cigar. I mean, I don't know. It's almost like they quit making the Schwa Supreme, because I haven't seen too many things with the Schwa Supreme out there. Mostly it's the, what is it? The Demitas? It is what you can find usually, but not the Schwa Supreme. You know, but, okay, so back to the La Flor de Cano. I mean, short filler, I mean, personally, you know, I'm going to actually try some of those and see what they're like. Because I'm not, you know, the whole thing with the encyclopedia, too, is the fact that, you know, you're talking about machine-made cigars, handmade cigars. Machine-made cigars, you know, they're pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of good machine-made cigars out there that are vintage that are still good. I mean, and it's like, you know, it's just that there's a stigma with short filler and everything like that. I mean, with short filler, you got to be careful of the ash and so on and so forth, and the blend may not be spot on all the time or whatever it is, but there's some, you know, even though those are short filler, I'm definitely going to see if I can give them a go and see what they're like, because I personally, that's my own personal opinion. Nothing wrong with short filler to me. Like I said, if it tastes good, smokes good, it can look like a turd, and as long as it tastes and smokes good, I don't care. I think people get too, like, hung up on, you know, the way it looks and all that kind of stuff. And to me personally, I mean, yeah, you don't want it to, like, look terrible, I guess, and you don't want, like, a lot of blotches in there and so on and so forth on the wrapper, but I mean, I don't know, I just want the flavor, because I'm not a collector, right? I'm sure if I was a collector, I'd want a pristine box. I'd want things to, like, just look just so and be perfect in the box so that I could, you know, collect it. But at the end of the day, when you're burning that thing, you know, and that's why I don't do too much with the, you know, like, what the cigar. Okay, here's a question for you. When you pull a cigar out of the box, smell the wrapper, smell the foot, smell, you know, the head when you clip it or whatever it is, you get all the smells out of there. How often do those smells transpire into the flavor of the cigar? For me, very rarely does the overall aesthetic before burning the cigar translate into the burning of the cigar. But that's just me. Very rarely do I get a cigar where, like, I'll do that and it's like, oh wow, it's just like I smelled it. It just doesn't seem to be that way. You know me, I like Quinteros. And I just think, you know, with the collector aspect and everything like that, that it's kind of it's kind of made it to where people want the whole package, right? I mean, especially when you're paying a bunch of money for something. Yeah, I like the old band on the double Coronas. Just such a sweet thing. Yeah. I don't know why they did it. I think maybe just so that they, I mean, when you think about it, right? Okay, Cuba doesn't waste anything. And so if you have a special band that you have to make for a certain cigar all the time, where you could just use a regular band that they get for all of their cigars, it's going to save them money in the long run, right? So for them to go to that, it's going to save them a lot of money. That's what I would think. It's cost. It's a cost thing. That's why they did it. Even though everybody's like going, "Oh, that's a great band," right? I mean, that's just my personal thought on it. I'm just some knucklehead with an opinion. But they don't waste anything, and that's why people were talking about how they said they change over certain things and so on and so forth, and then they're like going, "Well, I got this from this year and it's the same," and then other people in that same year will get something and go, "Oh no, it's changed, it's different now." I mean, the thing off the top of my head was the Monte Cristo bands, where they went to that gold inlay inside, in that gold relief inside the Monte Cristo on the band, right? And so there was a time, I think they did that in 14 or something like that, 2014, they did the Monte Cristo bands. They changed them over, so you could still get some Monte Cristos from 14 with the old band on there, and then you were starting to get the new band stuff, because they just used up everything that they possibly could. So I'm thinking that's why they probably went to that. It's just going to save them money. And they're probably not making as many 50 cabs anymore with the Hoyo. So, I mean, what's the point? You're going to buy all these special bands and then you're not going to use them up. So why would you do that? Right? That's my own personal thought on that. Yeah, see, there you go. Oh, Michael, those are fake. That's the thing, man. People just are so... But no, I mean, that's the thing. It's Cuba. So, those aren't fake. Those are real. Just they use up everything that they possibly can. They probably found a bunch of those bands, of the old bands somewhere, and they're like, "Oh my God, we got to use them up," and they did it, and they threw them in the box. Yeah, exactly. Hey, if you don't want them, just send them my way. I'll smoke them. I'll smoke them with the old band on there. It's a Por La Renaga day. So Por La Renaga, PLPC, and Monte Carlo. What I'm smoking today. This one's feeling a little hard. Hoping this one's gonna smoke good. Yeah. Do it. Absolutely. Yeah, they're good, man. So is the Petit Corona. Yeah, hopefully everybody on here is in the group. If not, go and join the, put in a request to join the group, and I'll add you in there. I think we're up to 130 some odd people in the group now, which is good. It's growing. And I think, let me see here, I'm at 1,995 subscribers to the YouTube channel. Yeah, if you're on Facebook, I can add you in now. Yeah, group seems to be a better thing, right, with everything. So, and I've just been requesting people from the Facebook page that have been liking the Facebook page. I've been inviting them over to the group, because I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get rid of the Facebook page and just do the group. I don't need a Facebook page. So, We'll see how things go moving forward on that. There we go. You are approved. You're in the group, Manuel. Post anything you want as far as cigars go. Just, you know, I had a couple of people in there that had posted, well, one guy was posting, you know, he's a guy, he makes cigars or whatever it is, and he started posting cigars for sale. So don't want anything like that. You know, I want us to like have a conversation about cigars in general and what we like. And some people put up some stuff about a humidor and a travel case with the link to that. That's okay, but it's not about selling cigars. It's just about enjoying cigars and you know, your thoughts and everything like that on it. Well, it's cigars and drink and whatever it is, you know, but post it in there, and hopefully we'll get a big dialogue going in there, and people are gonna start talking about stuff, and hopefully moving forward too, you know, as far as people have questions with like the Elegatos, right? That's a prime example right there. Post that in there. Maybe people will say, hey, you know, what's up with this cigar? And other people will go, oh yeah, you know, I have that cigar, or I don't have that cigar, or I know where it's at. So that's trying to get that kind of a dialogue going in there, so that it's kind of a place to get information and disseminate information to everybody. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that, Corey. I've approved them. Everybody you've put in there, I've approved. I've had a few people in there, but like I haven't approved everybody that's wanted to go in there, because it's like they look like they're not real profiles or something like that, and they're a member of like 500 groups, and they have no timeline, and they're just like, I don't know. So I mean, if you have a profile like that and you want to join, then you're gonna have to email me. Tell me what your name is on Facebook, and then I'll know it's you, and then I can approve it. Trying to keep that, you know. Anyway. Trying to keep real people in there. We want real people in there. Yeah, this cigar, what? It's roughly, I've been smoking it for about an hour and 20 minutes. Nice. How much longer do you want to smoke a cigar? I mean, when you get a lot of bang for the buck. Yeah, and it's not about sales. I mean, there's plenty of sales groups out there where people can sell stuff and everything like that. So it's like, you know, I don't want to do that. There's plenty of groups out there where you can sell your cigars. That would be a Lonsdale, Michael. I like the Lonsdale. I think to me it's perfect. It's got everything there. Wrapper comes into play. You got enough room for your Ligero and your Seco and your Velado to mix and marry in there. It's big enough ring gauge for that. Wrapper's going to have a bit of play in there as well for flavor. Yeah. Lancero, I like Lancero too, but I mean, for me personally, I like a Lonsdale because it's a bit thicker. Lanceros, you have a tendency sometimes to have some issues with the smoke production in the sense of like it won't burn, because especially with the Cohiba Lanceros, they'll have a bit more of the Ligero in there, which doesn't burn that well, and so you don't get a good experience until you age those things for a significant period of time. And so I'm more of a fan of Lonsdale. Lonsdale seems to be, for me at least, a better fit. Doesn't mean I won't smoke other things as well, but I mean, a Lonsdale seems to me to be like that kind of a perfect cigar for me. And I'm starting to see like a lot of the New World manufacturers too are starting to make like a Lonsdale and a Lancero too as well. Well, they have, yeah, they have been, and then I think that people are kind of starting to clamor for that. It's starting to become more about maybe the flavor and the enjoyment and everything like that, as opposed to just the mouthfeel and the bang for your buck. I mean, because don't get me wrong, I mean, those big cigars, I get it. I mean, you buy a big cigar, big ring gauge, lots of tobacco in there, and you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck. But at the end of the day, if you're smoking for flavor, and you're smoking more for that, I think a smaller ring gauge cigar would fit you well. Well, if you're going to spend money on a Behike, buy the 2010s. I mean, I just saw a guy trying to sell a box of Behikes from 2019. He wanted €1,500 for it. And, you know, so, I mean, if you're going to go it, if you're really going to, like, if you're going to spend that kind of money on a box of Behike, buy the 2010 Behikes. Buy those. Maybe the 2011s. Too as well, but you know, you're going to spend more money, yeah, but I don't think there's that much of a price difference between getting a 2010 to 2019. I think they're all people's minds are like warped when it comes to that. So, well, there you see, Iovanis has them for $7.25 for a box of Behike. But, I mean, if you're going to spend that kind of money on a box of Behike, get the original release, 2010 or 2011. And to me, that's, you know, you can have right now 11 years of age or 10 years of age on the cigar. And I think you're going to get the full effect. Now, I heard that the 19 and the 19 boxes or whatever, they started with the medio tempo again or whatever it is. I heard that like the ones between 11 and 18 or whatever it is, the medio tempo wasn't as much, or was it in there at all or whatever. And so I think they started up in the medio tempo moving forward, but that's just what I've read, and it's all hearsay. So. Well, Behike is definitely a, or Behike as they say in the Netherlands. It's kind of a status thing. It's kind of like what they're doing on all the social media, right? Where they're talking about stuff. You got the regional releases, all the bands, and it's like, look what I've got. Here I am. You know, this is really cool shit. Too bad you don't have it. And so, but they created that Vitola, that Marca, for that status, right? So Behike is definitely why they did it. And so if you're a collector or something like that, or you're someone that just, has more dollars than you need, you have more money than you can think of, then you can buy those cigars and smoke them like Pez, right? So yeah, Behike's definitely, but they created that cigar as a status symbol, pretty much. Yeah, and Opus is but that's a different. I mean, the 2010 Bahike. I mean, I must admit. I mean, like I said, I smoked one. I just did a review on one, and that was a really good cigar. I mean, with 10 years of age on it, that cigar was. You know, and I've always been in the club like Bahikes are just. They are definitely an over hyped kind of a cigar. But the one from 2010, the original release ones, those definitely have a bit of a cachet to them, and they definitely have they definitely smoke different, and with the age on them as well. I don't know how the newer ones are going to be moving forward, but the 2010s, those Bahikes, pretty decent cigar, it really is. Pricey, yeah, but I've spent more than that on cigars too, and been underwhelmed or overwhelmed actually. I mean, the Dunhill Estupendo, I mean, that's got to be, you know, that's an amazing cigar. You know, the Dunhill Don Candidos, I mean, those are just like, those are amazing cigars. Those are extremely expensive, but they're like, damn, they're good cigars. Yeah, I mean, you know, as far as it goes for, you know, yeah, I'd pay $120 for that cigar. I wouldn't pay $120 for a newer Bahike, but the 2010, if I know it's from 2010 and I know that it's, you know, the original, which is what I have, it's 100. It's definitely something where you want to smoke at least one, right? You want to do that, and it'll give you a point of reference too, right? By smoking all that stuff, and that's why I smoke everything, because I want to get a point of reference on everything, right? I can't, you know, I can't, if I haven't smoked it, then how can I, you know, justify or whatever, and so on and so forth. So that's why I spend money on cigars, you know. So, yeah, I mean, I would say yeah, but I mean, moving forward, those things are gonna jump up. You know, another one too, which is a bit 2014 Quintero. Yeah, I know exactly. But it's kind of like one of those things where, like, okay, we had steak for dinner last night, right? So I was at our supermarket looking up for a steak, and it was like, you know what, you know, she's in lockdown, she doesn't travel around as much as I do, and I wanted to make a really good dinner for her. So what did I do? I went and bought they had the Snake River Farms Wagyu steaks in there, right? That's $33 a pound for that steak. And so so I bought it and cooked it up, and it was an amazing steak. Now, do I eat Snake River Farms Wagyu grass-fed steak every night? No. But when we want something kind of special and we're going to do something like that, then I'll do it. So that's kind of my point with the, you know, various cigars and stuff like that. I'm with you 100% on buying the Quinteros. But also every now and then it's good to have that Kobe beef, right? Every now and then. Now, there's some people that can eat Kobe beef every day, and it's like nickels and dimes to them. Me, it's not. It's dollars. So, yeah, Opus is made by Fuente. And that's a girthy cigar. I mean, that cigar... yeah. Yeah. I think it's a little bit cheaper ordering directly from them, but not a whole lot, I don't think. Not a whole lot cheaper. I think it might be, what, 20 some odd dollars a pound for the Snake River Farms. It's good beef too. I mean, it's... oh, the Daniel Marshalls. Huh. That might be J.C. Newman? I'm thinking Daniel Marshall was J.C. Newman. What was it? The Danish cigars were doing with the gold leaf around them too, as well. And then they got something that they couldn't do Royal Danish anymore or something like that because of something. But I think Royal Danish does a gold-plated or gold leaf cigar as well. And then that Cavalier has like some gold leaf in there as well. Okay, Fuente did it? Okay. So that's probably going to be an interesting blend. The gold really doesn't add anything to it. It's just you're burning up gold. Yeah, the gold diamond leaf in there. Yeah. But I think Royal Danish did one too. They did like a thing that's called Royal Danish, where it was they did a gold leaf on that thing as well. Not sure, but just want to keep smoking this thing, but it's getting near the end. And it starts getting a bit hot, you know, once you get down to here. Okay, so here's one for you. How many of you actually, because I have friends that will actually put this in a pipe and smoke it all the way down in a pipe. They'll like stick it in there and smoke it. A late night? What's a late night? Who makes that? Alright, that's done. Oh, the Davidoff late night. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are the ones with the black band, right? I believe. Yeah, the late night Churchill. I've smoked that. Yeah, that's a decent cigar. It's actually because Davidoffs have a tendency to be super light to me, and they're really, I mean, that's another one, like the Bahique. To me personally, Davidoff is kind of like that, where you have that status where it's a Davidoff. It's always a smooth cigar. It's always, you know, very, what would be a good descriptor for that? You know, most Davidoffs to me are like just kind of, I don't know. To me, they just don't really add up to the amount of money that I'm paying for for that cigar. So, but the late night actually had some good flavor. It was almost reminded me of like some of the Nicaraguan stuff that they did. What was it? The Pure de Oro kind of a flavor to that. And it was actually pretty good. It wasn't bad, but the price is gonna get you on the Davidoffs. So I mean, that guy did a good trade in the sense of money, as opposed to, you know, you get did a Raz for a late night, because the late nights are running what, $20-something a piece or whatever it is. So hopefully that Raz was had a bit of age on it. Oh. You traded a Raz? You did good dollar-wise. And I think, you know, like I said, I enjoyed the late night. I did the Churchill, and the late, I'll smoke the late night. If I see those in there, I'll smoke that. I won't normally smoke all the other stuff. I've smoked the year or the whatever. I've smoked those Chef's Edition. I've smoked what is it, the 702. I smoked a bunch of different Davidoffs, and they're like just kind of, you know, meh. I mean, as far as it goes, if it was a $15 or $10 cigar, you know, I'd be like, okay, that's a pretty decent cigar. But, you know, as far as it goes for, you know, paying upwards of in the 20s for it, it's not all that, personally. But the late night's good. I like the late night. But the Pure de Oro, those are the ones that I really like. I mean, they stopped making it, but I think they're doing Nicaraguan tobacco now in the Davidoffs. I think the late night has it in there. I'm not sure. So, too many cigars. Many cigars, and, you know, not enough brain cells. Yeah, the Punch Mantua, have not tried that. Another Italian regional release, right? Yeah, I think if you're going to be smoking the, you know, if you're smoking mostly Cubans and everything like that, I mean, if you're going to veer off from a Cuban, I would smoke the Epernay, the Illusion Epernay line, and I would do the Numero Uno, the Joya Nicaraguan Numero Uno La Premier. Definitely do that cigar. That's a good cigar as far as it goes for, like, want to kind of stay in a Cuban type profile. That's my own personal opinion. Yeah, the Mantua, that went crazy. I think they originally released them for, like, what, $600 to $800 a box, and now they're like double. I mean, they've really shot up. I got my buddy in Florida. He might have some of those. I got to go down and visit him. Overpriced. Atabey is overpriced. I've smoked that. I wasn't impressed. Not at all. It's kind of along the same lines as that Sans Peril. Yeah, not impressed. Not at $35 a stick for that cigar. No way. You could buy an Epernay for less than half that, and get the Epernay Le Matin. To me, it's a Churchill, I believe. No, it's a Lonsdale. I believe it's a Lonsdale, Epernay Le Matin. It's either Lonsdale or Churchill. I think it's a Lonsdale size, though. And that cigar is great. Yeah. Now, I've been smoking the HVC stuff, some of that, and that 2015 limited edition is a pretty decent little smoke. It's a bit peppery to begin with, starting out, but then it mellows out and it just gets a really nice flavor to it moving forward after you get that initial blast in the nose and the mouth. And HVC, that one's good. I haven't tried the hotcakes yet. That's kind of a nice, it looks like a nice long and thin cigar, but that 2015 Limitada is good. Yeah, well, I picked up a bunch of fivers of the HVC just to try them, and so, you know, I had the 2018, which I didn't like that one that much. It wasn't, you know, it was okay, But the 2015 Limitada is a good stick. But for you, if you're like, it's gonna be a bit strong to begin with, and then it's gonna mellow out. If you can make it through the first half an inch of the cigar, it turns into a pretty decent cigar. And but the first like half inch is a bit peppery and a bit spicy. That's Havana City Cigars, HVC. Havana City Cigars. But you probably won't like it because it's very off-putting in the beginning to me personally. For a lot of people that like that, the heavy spice in the beginning, or heavy spice on a cigar, it's going to probably carry them through the rest of the cigar. But it's kind of like, so Illusion made the, oh god, the Le Grand Class Rex, and that's a really tiny, like a petite Corona sized cigar. And same thing with that cigar too. It's kind of spicy and peppery in the beginning, and then it really mellows out after that, and it becomes a really, really nice cigar. Very, very good, pleasant cigar to smoke. But you just got to make it through the first bit. And I don't know why some of these blenders do that, where like they have to have that like initial kick. I don't know what that is. I don't know why that is, but that's another one. It's kind of like that HVC. Same kind of a thing. Yeah, so the Epi 2 is going to be, yeah, you would definitely, the Lamatan, Epernay Lamatan would be like that as far as it goes. Definitely. It would be more like the Hoyo, not the Raz. No, it's just your palate and your profile. I mean, there's a lot of people that just can't do that, and it's totally understandable. It's like, why do you want to be uncomfortable smoking a cigar? It's about enjoyment. It's not about being uncomfortable. You know, it doesn't make you any more of a person that you can do Liga Privada and then retrohale the whole thing all the way through, or whatever, or a fresh opus, right? Be able to retro the Epernay, well, at least the Lamatan. The smaller ones tend to be a bit stronger. That's why I like the Lamatan. It's bigger and it's mellower. Yeah, that's a strong cigar, man. A lot of nicotine in that thing too. You know, that L40 Lancero is it's got a lot of nicotine in it too. But it's, out of all the Ligas, the L40 Lancero to me is got really good flavor to it, and it's not as, you still need to eat before you smoke that cigar. But I like the flavor of it better than a lot of the other Ligas. ERDM La Reina. Good luck on that. They might be. I can't remember who makes that stuff. The Havana City Cigars, though. They might be out of Florida. A lot of people are out of Florida. Lots going on down there. I mean, they used to ship the Cuban tobacco over to Tampa all the time and roll that stuff up and make clear Havanas all the time out of that stuff for the States back in the day before the embargo. I was reading something where there was like, back in the day, there was like over 1,000 cigar manufacturers in the United States and Canada or something like that. Some ridiculous amount. And so, and now there's like hardly any. Yeah, and they're trying to do like a kind of a Cuban vibe too. That's like their claim to fame, is they're trying to be more Cuban-esque with their stuff. Oh, what else? Yeah, I can't think of it. Just did a Chicago turn, and that was it. And I got a friend coming into town today, and I'm supposed to meet up with him maybe later on today. I'm not sure. So I told him to come over to my house. I'm making those chicken bowls, but he's doing like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hour drive. So I don't know if he's gonna want to come over. But I might go over and see him. He's staying over in Hollywood. But yeah, I haven't flown much this week. So I'm trying. I'm looking. I just don't like working hard. And I got vacation next month, so that's good. Actually, gotta see. Nope. All right, Michael. Sell, sell, sell. ABC, always be closing. There hasn't been a lot of stuff in open time for Hawaii lately. It's been mostly because Denver got slammed, and they're still trying to catch everything up out of Denver. So like a lot of the stuff that's been in there is like, you know, one leg to Dallas, then one leg to Denver, or one leg to Denver, one leg to Dallas, that kind of stuff. And then layover, and then go Dallas to Newark, and Newark back to LA. It's just a long day. I like the ones where if I'm going to go out, I want to come back the same. It's just kind of a mental thing, right? So if I go from LA to Denver to, say, Fort Myers, I don't want to go Fort Myers over to New York and back home. I want to go Fort Myers to like Houston back home, or Fort Myers back to Denver back home. It's a mental thing. But the bests are like, you know, one leg there, layover, one leg back. That's what I prefer. Well, they have a thing called open time, so they, you know, stuff drops in there, like people are sick, or like a flight goes illegal. So say there's a Chicago flight, right? The flight attendants get on there, and they're supposed to go from Chicago to LA, and then maybe down to, you know, San Diego or something like that. So, and then the airplane gets, you know, trouble with the airplane or whatever it is, and so on and so forth. So, you know, there's only so many hours in a day that we're allowed to work because of the work rules and everything like that. So what'll happen is they'll be able to work the flight to LA, but then they go illegal. So they'll drop something into, it's called open time or open flying, whatever you want to call it, and then we'll be able to pick that up. Or if someone calls in sick, or they'll advertise a trip, you can say, I don't feel like working, and then they have a trip that they'll advertise in there, and then we can pick that up too as well. So there's a lot of different ways that stuff goes in there. Or like, you know, as flying increases with more passengers and stuff like that, like they just started putting that 737 MAX back online, so they've been putting those back into the rotation with the planes and stuff, so they'll create new pairings for us to fly with that new plane, and that'll happen. Or like, say, I just saw a trip that I guess they're gonna they're starting to fly back to Narita. So I just saw a trip where it went in open time where they're going to Narita. So it just all kind of drops in there. And if you like on the computer or on your phone, you can find stuff. Yeah, so like our duty day, I think max duty day for us is like 16 hours, but that's like stretched, so it's more like, you know, 12 to 14. But if you're going to go into that 16, you're done, you know, and then you have to rest for I think 10 hours. Yeah, I think it's around 10. So if you're going to go into the legalities and stuff, they have to pull you off and put somebody else in there. So it makes for some interesting stuff, because then they'll like do something where you know, they'll have to redo everything and recrew the plane, and you know, you might go to San Diego for the night, kind of hang out there, and then deadhead home. There's something. Yep, that's all I wanted to talk. Yep, that's it. That's all I had to talk about, I guess. Yeah, like they're starting to get full again. Really, pretty much, yeah. I mean, they're starting. And I don't know whether it's just because they don't have as many planes going, and so more people are starting to fly. I think that's part of the reason too, is that there's not as many planes flying, and I think, yeah, more people are starting to fly, definitely. They really are. It's starting to come back. It's not like it was before this whole thing happened, but it's starting to come back, which is good. I just wanted to start opening up other places like Europe and stuff like that. I guess Europe is in a lockdown again, and then Canada is still, you can't get to Canada. You got to quarantine for like, I think 2 weeks or something. So you go to Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala. I think Guatemala, though, you have to take a test before you go down there. There you go. Yeah. Yep. And that might, I think moving forward, I think also for getting into the States, you have to take a test before you come in as well now. I think they just implemented that this week, I think. Pretty sure. They just implemented that. All right, man. Take care, Corey. We'll see you later. Okay. Maybe. Yeah, okay. Oh. Yeah, gotta stay healthy. Gotta go for a walk here pretty soon. Anyway, any other questions on stuff, or anybody doing anything or anything like that? Because if not, I'm going to sign off and smoke the rest of this cigar. Anybody haven't joined the group, Facebook group? It's looking like everybody's all set. Well, okay. Probably got another, I don't know, 45 minutes on this thing. That's what it's looking like. But, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that relative humidity thing earlier. I think we got that out of the way. So I'm going to see about that. That was a good question that someone brought up on the channel about the relative humidity. Oh, I had someone mention the fact where I did the Humidors essay where you could do the authenticity check for that, and so he mentioned the fact about the phone, and so I put a link in the Humidors essay hack video where you can, if you're on your phone, you can go down there and look at the description, and you can see and click on that, and that works on your phone. So you can do an authenticity check from your phone, and it's going to work as well from the phone. That's what I wanted to mention in here too as well. Just go in the description for the video on your phone, and it'll pull it up. So I know some people have been having some issues with that, with the authenticity check in Chrome and in Edge. It works in Firefox, and then on the phone, I'm using Chrome on my phone, and it doesn't work unless I click on the link. So there it is there. And I'm at 1,995 subscribers to the YouTube channel. So once I get to 2,000, might do some kind of a giveaway. So anyway, I think it is time to let everybody know that I have rambled on enough, and that's enough out of me. All right, we'll see you later, and enjoy the rest of your day or your night, and that's about it. Talk to you later.